We're here to talk to you about what is President Obama's Deferred Action Program for Immigrant Youth. My name is Lenny Benson. I teach law at New York Law School, and with me is Harlan York, who's an attorney in private practice in New York and Newark, New Jersey. So Harlan, I'm going to ask you some basic questions. We're going to do this really quickly. You can find more information at the end of our video. We'll give you a link to a longer version. What is deferred action? Is it a green card?
No.
Do you get work authorization?
Yes.
How long does the work authorization last?
2 years under the proposed program by President Obama.
So that work authorization card would be a picture ID, right?
Yes.
So if you get a picture ID and it's work authorization, can you get a Social Security card?
Yes.
So you can get a Social Security card and a work ID if you apply for deferred action. Sounds pretty good. Do you think you can get a driver's license?
In the majority of states, I would say yes with those two documents. However, each state has its own point system or rules, so you really need to check it out where you live.
So it sounds really good. Is there any downside to applying for this?
Deferred action, if you do not qualify for it, typically because you don't meet certain criteria, could perhaps lead to you risking deportation from the United States of America.
So if the government doesn't know about you being in the country right now, and you've been living here a long time, and you've lived without documents so far, you really need to make a careful decision about this, right?
Without question, talk to an expert.
And everybody's case is different. So let's talk about what it takes to qualify. How old can you be?
You should be between the ages of 15 and 31. The 31 is, as of June 15th, 2012, is the cutoff time. The 15 is rolling. So if you're not 15 yet, but you're going to turn 15 soon, you'll qualify.
And when did you have to come to the United States? How old were you?
You must have entered prior to turning age 16.
What if you came when you were 16 and 3 days?
Doesn't matter.
The government draws lines in the sand and you have to qualify, right?
Without question.
So you have to have come before you were 16 and
Correct.
you can't yet have aged out being over 31.
Right.
And how long did you have to be here to qualify for this program?
You must show that you've been physically present in the United States for at least 5 years.
And we think that means continuously 5 years, but we hope the government will allow maybe a visit out to go to a funeral of a grandparent or a quick trip on a school field trip or whatever. Nobody knows right now.
That's right.
So, all right, we've got your age and you had to be here 5 years. Do you have to be in school now?
You either must be enrolled in school or already have a high school diploma or a GED from an institution in the United States.
What's a GED?
A general equivalency diploma, which is often something that people who didn't finish high school go back and get in order to qualify for a job that requires a high school diploma or the equivalent thereof.
And we don't know if kids who did their high school overseas or in another country and came for college here and have remained past their student visas, we don't know if coming to college in the United States is going to qualify yet. Those people will have to look and see what happens.
It would be very important to remember, since you had to be here before you turned 16, the likelihood is that the college graduate who attended high school abroad is, in most instances, not going to qualify. However, we're still working out the details.
Yeah, I've seen some kids who came for like 1 or 2 years of American high school
Right.
just to get ready to apply to American university.
Right.
So they might have come when they were 15 or 16.
Exactly.
But you did have to come before you were 16. Now, are there some people who are not going to qualify because they have criminal convictions?
Absolutely.
What kind of convictions knock you out?
The law is so far using the memo from the DHS, Department of Homeland Security, is using the word serious. Felonies, certainly, and serious misdemeanors are the terms of the day.
So what if you had a conviction but it's been wiped out, or you did probation and it's not on your record anymore?
I would say talk to an expert and think very hard when that expert gives you advice. When I say expert, we're talking about people who are experienced practitioners with an understanding of the nuances of immigration law.
Like a criminal lawyer may know criminal law really well, but doesn't mean they know immigration law very well. Still, if you've ever been in criminal trouble, you may want to contact your criminal attorney and get copies of all your records.
And then talk to an immigration
And
practitioner.
then talk to an immigration lawyer, right. So convictions can knock you out, and then there's this catch-all that says you're a danger to national security or public safety. Who do you think those people are?
I'm thinking the government is looking at anybody who has a suspected tie to terrorism, number one, and number two, a gang member or a former gang member. So if you're from a particular place where you may have been affiliated with or a member of a gang, even if it's been a long time and you're 28 years of age and you weren't in that gang since you were much younger, that's something the government may easily use to disqualify you from eligibility for this deferred action program.
Okay, we wanted to keep this brief. Bottom line, most people can't apply right now. The application period, when do you think it's going to start?
The directive from the DHS says within 60 days of the announcement on June 15th, which would mean on or before August 14th. However, many people in our field believe it could be later in August.
Where can you find more information? The best source really is the government website, www.uscis.gov. Then just put in the search term deferred action, and it will take you to a page of resources. Here at New York Law School, you can go to www.nyls.edu/immigration, and we'll be putting up information. And Harlan, you have a website where people can find out more.
Yes, I've put up a site called newdreamact.com. Again, I remind people this is not the DREAM Act, but since the common term today in 2012 is this is a version of the DREAM Act. It isn't, but it's deferred action, so the website I've put up is newdreamact, newdreamact.com.
And we say it's not the DREAM Act because deferred action is not getting a green card. It is not a path to permanent residence, but it might make a difference in your life. We hope you'll investigate it seriously, and remember that everybody deserves to have good legal advice. We hope you'll find either a pro bono or a pay-for reputable attorney and get the information you need. Thank you.
Thanks.